What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. You can head to the link in my description below, sign up for my newsletter, and get a free graphic novel from me. If you enjoy Wonder Woman, and especially I think this version by Gail Simone, I really think you'll like Flying Sparks, which is the free graphic novel you'll get. It's volume 1. So everybody can check out the book and get into the series there. Awesome. So this is the DC Comics Omnibus. These omnibi take me a long time to get through because they're kind of big. And so I kind of pace myself, a couple issues here, a couple issues there until I finally finish one. I find it like that they're just too long to want to read all the way through. Though that doesn't say anything to the quality of this. This was very good. So I am trying to just state how I read omnibi typically. So it's usually about a month or so before I get through an omnibus in general. I definitely like making progress. So it's like when I'm reading here and it's like you got this much more to read. It's like, dang, this is so far, and that deters me from reading. Believe it or not, I like the like thick trade collections that are about this big a little bit better. But you can see the dust jacket's really nice. You've got a different look on the inside, which is also very nice. Nice construction of the book all the way around. I'm very happy with how this plays out. Now, this is the new 52 version of Wonder Woman. I'm trying to get this on the page. It's a little awkward sizing. And most of the art is by Bernard Chang and Aaron Lopresti. And so I had not really heard of Aaron Lopresti prior to this, which is a crying shame because his art is really good. And I've since started following him, and also that's partially due to Gail Simone recommending I do so. So thank you, Gail, if you watch this. All right, nice intro by Mercedes Lackey. Mercedes Lackey is a fantasy author who's of pretty high prominence, who writes generally pretty good books too. So nice to see her getting involved in this. And then you get into the story. Now, this is like the new 52 version of Wonder Woman, and it comprises of issues 14 through 44. There was a 600 version, because they always do that with the numbering these days, and get those milestones in there, of course. And then Sensation Comics featuring Wonder Woman #1. It's got a number of stories. I feel like Simone didn't really write to like omnibus per se, but like you get these 4, 5, 6 issue storylines all the way through things, which work very well. So it starts out, Wonder Woman's kind of like in a weird spot, and these are not actually the main pencilers on the books at this point. Who was it for this issue? It is, I think it said Terry Dodgson. Am I right on that? I don't know. All right, but she meets these gorilla people. She's kind of out of her element a little bit, kind of feeling disassociated from her people, the Amazons on their island there, and she's working as like this like paranormal investigator sort of person in this like superhuman CIA sort of setup. Now, they don't realize she's Wonder Woman. They think of her as just Diana Prince, and we meet her cast of characters. She's got a nice bow that she's into. They've got a boss who really doesn't trust the Amazons. Yeah, Terry Dodson was the penciler, and then we kind of get this whole setup for what's to come through here at this point. Now, there's Amazons like kind of being subversive against each other through this. There's like kind of a power struggle going on back in the world of the Greek gods, as it may be. And Wonder Woman's really having to deal with that as she has to deal with everything else that's going on. So, very fun stuff. Nice setup. Terry Dodgson's art is decent. I enjoy it. But honestly, it gets better as it goes along. There's a nice little like scene here where she actually has to like go into this like weird realm, and she actually teams with Beowulf. Very cool little mythological mashup right there. I thought that was really well done. This is probably my favorite arc of the whole series right here. As her people are figuring out that she's somehow related to Wonder Woman and the Amazons, of course. And here we go. Aaron Lopresti starts about this point in this series, and you can see his art is just absolutely phenomenal on this Beowulf. Gorgeous stuff. This makes me happy to read. Yeah, beautiful double page spread right here. He's got a cool style. It's not too dark, and it's not too like overly modern panel layout influenced. You kind of get that like sort of I guess 90s vibe still, but with a little bit, you know, cleaner than you would get before. And I believe this is where Bernard Chang starts. Yeah, cool. Definitely can tell these artists apart. They have very similar styles in a lot of ways, but I think Bernard Chang has he does thicker lines around the figures a little bit, and he does maybe a little rounder of faces. I don't know. I can still tell it apart. I just can't describe it very well. But there's this whole like Greek gods are kind of like going away and don't want to deal with things, and they've sent this like new son of Zeus or whatever to come like be the new champion of the world because Wonder Woman's bad or something like that. And there's this whole background thing like where this like future Wonder Woman becomes this like genocide person who comes around, and over the course of this this all builds up and builds up and builds up and builds up. There it is. Yeah. And Wonder Woman starts to doubt herself through all of this, of course. And then eventually genocide and her evil team kind of takes over the Amazon island through one of these other old Amazons who started at the beginning of the book. I forget names, unfortunately. I've been reading this over 2 months. It causes a problem on that level a little bit. And then there's an epic confrontation on the Amazon island. And once that ends, that kind of ends the main arc at this point. And we're not there yet in terms of flipping the pages. There's Ares, of course. This is the gal who I was talking about who kind of takes over the island and is trying to deal with that. Art is very nice all the way through. What I gotta say is I really like Gail Simone's pacing throughout all of this. You know, it's always boom, 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 boom. This is very well done. This is kind of an awkward drawing a little bit, but that's okay. Not everything can be a home run. That's a very nice drawing, by contrast. And the way that the genocide conflict is spun up, and you know the danger that's actually involved to the side characters and all that. You actually get a little of the Steve Trevor and Donna Troy in here. It all works out very well. That's what it comes down to. And of course, once that ends, we're now at the point where she kind of goes back to the island and has to deal with that fight and deal with it. Then there's a team up with Black Canary, who I believe is one of Gail Simone's favorite characters. She was Birds of Prey writer for a long time, so it makes sense that she did that. And they go into this like arena in like I forget the name of the place in this, but it's like Madripoor in Marvel Comics, kind of where it's like this evil sort of spot in order to track down crime. And they figure it all out. And it's this is a really nice storyline. Totally disconnected. The main storyline kind of ended by this point. So you get about a couple hundred pages of just sort of one-off storylines, which is great. Not everything has to be a big, sweeping, written to omnibus event. I'm kind of burnt out on that sort of thing, to be honest. And here you go. Get Giganta there. And we're dealing with some fights back on Paradise Island again. So, yeah, it all kind of wraps up very nicely. You get some like backstory. The Sensation Comics and Wonder Woman 600 like really give a lot of backstory and stuff. Here's a Power Girl deal, and they actually think they're convinced that Wonder Woman's bad at this point because there's this like manipulation going on. Really cool event here. And there is a Green Lantern story at the beginning of this, and then there's another one at the end that kind of ties right back into the one at the beginning, where Wonder Woman has to team up there too. So all the way around, this was an enjoyable read. I had a lot of fun with this. This is probably the best Wonder Woman I've read. And I've read George Perez. I've read J. Michael Straczynski. I've read John Byrne. And then I've read a little bit of some of the issues here and there of other stuff. But of that, honestly, if I was going to get one Wonder Woman deal, I would read this. I think it really lends itself very well in the storytelling and the art. It was very fun, very fast paced. Just a beautiful comic book, superhero read all the way around. I'll give this like a 9 out of 10. Wonderful stuff. And this is honestly the first Gail Simone stuff I've read. I think I read Secret Six back in the day, but in terms of like a sit through read, and she did a really good job on the writing. I got to give her huge props for that. And I love Bernard Chang always. Aaron Lopresti is now going to be one of my favorite artists. That's so exciting too. And I look forward to seeing more of this stuff. I think I'm going to grab her Batgirl Omnibus next, and that's that. Let me know what you think. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.